Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Sulaiman Rahim here, Messenger of the Covenant, Breaker of Seven Seals, Crusher. Brothers and sisters, I'm going to do a short critique of a shit show they gave this morning. But first, fear. Look up fear, study fear. Because that's what's driving this world. That's what's been driving us for the last 500 years. That's what's driving what's going on right now. Fear. Fear is at the heart of it. Fear is pain, mental pain. And that's what drives this world right now. Because everybody's trying to gain control. Gain control. And fear is a loss of control. The more loss of control you have, the more fear you have. And America is losing control. They've been losing control of us since the 1860s. And so their fear of us is increasing daily. They can't say it. And the Bible tells you clearly, they're not going to be out in the open with it. They're going to be secretive of it. That means you won't see it coming, but somebody's revealing it to you. Until Suleiman comes, he reveals this to you. It says, those set in darkness see in a great light, because they concealing all of this. But say he will take and manifest all things. See, but they're concealing. In other words, they got something out planned for you, and this tells you what it is. It's death, destruction. That's what they have planned for you. But you won't be able to see it. Because they said they're doing it secretly, shrewdly. And I'm explaining to you. But then a lot of you be caught up in it. It says this day will come as a snare for those who dwell on the earth. Who are you talking about? You're the ones dwelling on the earth. You're the ones not talking about all the people dwelling on the earth. It's come to you. You're dwelling here in America. It come as a snare. It means you're not going to see it coming. And you're going to be caught up in it. And a lot of you are going to be lost. Since my people are lost for lack of knowledge, you're going to be lost. A lot of you will be lost. And Suleiman's going to rescue a lot of them. But at this point, he's kind of like, well, should I waste my time? Should I waste my time here? Because our word has been kept with you. The word was given to you has been kept. Elijah, Master Farmer showed up. Elijah showed up. He did what he was supposed to do, and you turned against him. So you broke the covenant. We didn't. You broke the covenant. We didn't. So anything we do now is a mercy to you. You broke the covenant. We didn't. You broke the covenant with Elijah. You broke the covenant. You turned against the God. You can't match for him a praise. See, and you can't worship him because he's made of flesh. But now it's all about Master Muhammad. But yes, for his originator. Let's finish this fear, brother. I'm gonna get into that in a minute. But fear, and the more America loses control, the more fear, and fear drives anger and violence. See, and if it's going to be unprecedented violence, that means you got a powerful country that's going to lose all control. Plus all the they're going to, and the loss of control means, right? They have to face the consequences of their period of control. Which is awesome. Awesome. But it says, those who are on earth will become as a snare. And if you're not listening to this, if you close your eyes on this light, who's hurting? Who you hurting? Are you hurting me? You close your eyes on this light, who you hurting? You hurt me? Because you're not getting this light from any place else, not even close. Everything you're getting out there is dark. People sit in darkness. I mean, you're sitting in darkness and seeing a great light. You see, you're sitting in darkness, and everybody else, nothing come out their mouth but shit. You're sitting in darkness, right? I'm not going to anybody diffuse this message, because they have people, man, they twisting everything. No, it has to be a clear, bright light. Clear, bright light. And I get it from any place else, not a place on the planet, nowhere. Right? but fear. And that's what Farrakhan's is all about, fear. They have you in a state of fear. See? That's how they keep you under control, with fear. Fear is how they keep you under control. Mental fear. And so as they lose under control, that means the fear reverses. Because you got control of a lion. Okay, you get a lion, he's fearing whatever you're doing to him. But you start losing control, you start getting the fear, because that lion, he start getting strong back himself, and you start getting the fear because he's going to come after you. It's very simple mathematics, brothers and sisters, right? Fear. Fear. See? It says, it tells you clearly, men's hearts be failing, therefore fear. It's talking about epidemic of heart attacks, strokes, seizures. After looking at things with anticipation. And then you have to, do you look at these things? You look at something, do you pay attention, look deep into it? Or if this is happening, it's an epidemic, where is it happening? Where is it when they recognize this, when it has to come over the news? So something here on the news or TV, and right? Where? In the Middle East. Something they're going to see over there, right? And it's going to be because of loss of power. You can read all kinds of stuff in this one statement right here, right? Because the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Whose powers? Theirs. There wouldn't be a fear if the Middle East powers were shaken. Then if their powers are shaken, because they're the ones on the earth, they're not in the Middle East. So something's going to happen over there. It's going to cause them. It's going to be so dramatic. It's going to cause heart attacks. Just anticipation. And we see it happening right now. We're witnessing it's happening right in front of our face right now. And it says, and when an active event takes place, that's what's going to happen. It means it's going to go against them. So dramatically, that it's going to cause heart failure, strokes, seizures, because that's what comes with heart failure. And then you have yourself, well, how many men? It's going to be a lot. And where they going to be when they get it? They're going to be listening to news? They're going to be driving a cab? They're going to be an Uber driver? They're going to be a plane driver? Or they're going to be driving down the highway and then have a stroke and all of a sudden run into your ass? Okay. That gives you some idea of what's, and it's going to happen suddenly. And that's just one of the things that's going to happen here. I'm trying to get an idea of chaos that's going to happen here. And a lot of Negro butts are going to have the same thing because they identify with the devil. So they think, this is my country. Like that Negro this morning, he said, our country. Did you notice? He said, our country. Ooh, we get a hold of those clowns. And it's just days away. I mean, it's like, like you've been on a fast and you're really hungry, man. You've been on like a 30-day fast and about the 29th day, man. And, ooh, you can't wait that next day, man. You get, oh, man. It's hard. That's the hardest day, the day before. That's the hardest day. Oh, man, I got 24 hours. I got 10 more hours, man. Oh, man, I can't wait to get to that thing. Oh, ooh. I can feel my hands around their necks, man. Ooh. Man, those people. Come on, and put Elijah's name in their mouth? Put Elijah's name in their mouth? It says be severe. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. Now, I put this special. It took a while. It took me 3 or 4 hours to put it together. It's not the greatest in the world, brothers and sisters. I tried, right? I mean, but I'm going to make a point, right? So, and I don't think I don't know why I shouldn't keep doing these graphics because they take a long time to do. You got to keep testing it, and sometimes I get it wrong anyway. Even after all of that. Okay. And see, he's the man of fear. I'm going to relieve your fear. I'm going to annihilate your fear. I'm going to dissipate your fear because I'm going to make America great again. That means I got to gain power again. That means you're in a state of fear. All you got to do is learn to read these things, brothers and sisters. If America's losing, it's lost power. Like he says, they're taking everything from, and he's such a clown. You the illegal alien. You the illegal alien. You took this country from the other people, but they got this big blind spot. What false sisters was doing, that's what you did. You did 1,000 times worse. but I'm gonna make America great again. I'm gonna take everything back. See, what he's telling you is, I'm gonna alleviate your fear, and I'm gonna get these niggas back under control, because that's the biggest fear in America right now. They've been losing control of you since the Civil War. Every 5 years, they lose more and more high grade, and now they're about to lose total control, because now every 50 years, I said we get energized. So now we're in a 50-year cycle, and now we're about to go home. I said the music's going to change. It's going to be a victorious music. We're going to unite and go home. This is the time. This cycle, that's where we're going home. Every 50 years, 1860s, 1920s, you had blues. They had the blues, and we got the jazz. 50 years later, rock or disco, whatever you want to call it, right? And now it's 50 years again, right? So new music coming out, and we got more control of ourself each 50 years. We had the blues was out, but we wasn't on the plantation anymore, right? Then we was in the 20s, right? Eurocentric. Afrocentric. Marcus Garvey, Noble Drew Ali, Mustafa Muhammad. Then 60s, I'm black and I'm proud, Right? And now, Master's coming here to take you home. But he's the man. See, when you're in pain, you look for something to kill that pain. Man, give me some aspirin, give me some ibuprofen, give me some anything, man. He's your ibuprofen. He's America's ibuprofen. But the pain's so great that he ain't going to be able to do a damn thing. Damn, man, this stuff ain't working. No, it's not. Because your pain is is fatal. Oh, man, it's aspirin, man. I need something stronger than this, man. Give me some, what they call that stuff? I couldn't think of yesterday for nothing. I can't think of the name. Because I remember I had a contract, when I had my, I had to have surgery years back, because I used to run every day 5, 6, 7, 9, 10 miles, right? And by the time I got in my late 50s, right, near 60s, I think about 60 at the time, right? I wore my hips out, so I had to get resurfacing. That's a long story. I had to need that knee replacement stuff. That hip replacement. To have that, that's that real bad stuff. This is a different procedure. Totally different, right? You can get up and walk and do anything you want to do after this. You can run everything you want to do afterwards. But they told me if you go out there and run again, you're gonna be back and doing this thing again in another 10 years. I said, heck with that. So I don't run, but I walk about 4 miles an hour on a treadmill. Anyway, what's that stuff? Oxycontin? That might have been it. Anyway, they've been trying to get me all kinds of ways, brothers and sisters. I'm doing a contract, and I came back from Guam at the time. I had a contract down in Florida. Somewhere down there got a contract down there, and just a little bit. I'm going to take a lot of time here. See, things work out when you're doing things right. Because I always get a contract, but this particular, I just got back. I gave my daughter all my money I had to get a car. I had any money, so they told me, "Hey, you get a contract that I'm on in the network, right?" So, hey man, they got a contract available down there in Florida. So I said, okay, down in Tampa. I said, okay, went down there. But the guy played a game on me. He wouldn't let me do a contract. He said, man, we can't let you do a contract here, man. You got to be an employee for us. I said, man, I don't do employee. I don't do employee. I want a contract. Right? We can't do a contract. I said, well, why you tell me that, man? I come all the way down here I drove all the way down here, and now you tell me I got to be an employee. Why didn't you tell me before I came down here? So I'm bugged, right? And I don't have any money, right? And like I said, I gave all the money I had. Since I told my daughter to give her a car. So I said, okay, hell. I said, I told myself, well, usually you take a 6 months to a year contract, right? I said, well, I'm gonna stay here for about 2 or 3 months. I'm looking for my contracts and I'm out of here. I said, okay, I had some money, right? So I took the contract. Took the employee thing. This how things work out, right? And I was having a problem with my legs, my hips at the time. And so, oh man, this is a long story. I don't know if I don't go through the whole thing. But I've been having problems for over a year. When I was in Guam, I had problems with it. Right? But they kept telling me, hold on. I forgot to do this. Hold on. They kept telling me I had a chiropractor. Kept sending me to a chiropractor. And it wasn't doing any good. And I was still in pain. They said, well, you know, you guys, it's something, you know, they told me that's what it was. It was what it was. Someone I'm still trying to run. And I went back like a year of pain. I mean, it was getting worse and worse. So when I got, so this guy has me, I ended up getting this contract in Tampa, right? So finally I went to a doctor down there. And I said, and remember, they told me I had to be employed, so it means they had to pay for my insurance. Now, as a contract, I paid my own insurance. I paid my own hospital, everything else. Right? But they told me, so I go to the doctor, right? And the doctor told me, hey man, no, you got a problem with your hips. And we got this new procedure called hip resurfacing, which is a whole different thing. They don't cut your bone out and none of that stuff. And you can do everything you was doing before. And you heal. I mean, I was like walking around a couple of days, and I had to have double. They wouldn't do both at the same time. The bottom story is that they told me, so, he told me, says, and he was only one of I think it's the only colored people in the country. It was a procedure came out of England called Birmingham procedure. And he said, he was like, only one or two people in the country knew how to do this. You see his story? So if I had had this done when I was in Guam or before that, I would have had to go to the whole other thing. But because they guys was telling me, lying to me about chiropractic, I'm suffering, right? And then I go, and then I end up going, come back home, and then they said, got tricked me to come down to Tampa, right? Told me I had to be employed. So they had to pay for the whole damn thing. They was really pissed off. They had to pay for the whole surgery, everything, all of it. I had to pay a dime. See, that's how things work out, Bill. I had to pay a dime. You see? And the whole thing done, I had to pay a dime for it. See? And the fact that the chiropractors were lying to me and everything else, right? So that was buying time. I didn't know that. Buying time to find the right guy, this guy, that knew how to do this procedure. And I was up and walking around, and I mean, I had one, and the second was a week later, right? And 2 weeks after that, I was walking around like it never happened. Right? They told me I could still run, but I said, so I don't want to go back and do that again. But the problem is how things work out like that. And they was pissed. They was really pissed off. So eventually they got mad and they told me I had to wait. I didn't stay at treat. A month after that, they let me out of there, man. They said, hey, we gotta let you go. I know why they was mad, right? But by the time they let me go, right, I had found a contract. I was getting ready to tell them, right, I was going to leave because I had this contract. I forgot I had the contract. Anyway, I was going to tell them I had found another contract, and so I was supposed to start in about 2 or 3 weeks, whatever, right? And I was about to tell them. They told me. So I didn't have to quit. They told me, hey, man, we'll let you go, so fine. I was out anyway. Things like that keep happening in my life all the time. All the time. And that's because the 5 fundamental pillars of Islam and the angel. But it's primarily, it's 5 pillars. That means energy management. So I always keep positive energy and always work in my favor. Right? And at the time, I was staying like this little apartment I was staying in, right? Because I was only going to be there for 3 or 4 months, right? So I got a little apartment. It wasn't that great, right? And so this woman came and told me, says, it was like I had to go 2 or 3 stories, right? So she came and told me, says, hey, man, devil, right? You have found a place? You have a place to stay? I said, yeah. I said, I said, there's a house right across the street from me, right? And they look for somebody to rent, and it was much cheaper than mine. It was a nice place, right, in Tampa. So they looking for somebody to rent it. I said, really? So I went over there and talked to the lady, a sister. She was renting the house and everything, and boy, gave me a real nice price, real nice little house, right? And It turns out when I had the surgery, they told me, well, you can't climb stairs because, it'd be a couple of weeks before you climb the stairs, right? And so it came around time because as soon as the surgery was over, I mean, I had that head house, and you walk right into it. And I had to walk upstairs. All that stuff. Anyway, let me move on. Anyway, but this is opposite for them. Everything will work bad for them. Everything. What's happening? Because right now, what's going on right in the Middle East right now is because of him. Because he got rid of JCPOA, which I told you back then they won't get back into that. Let's move on. I'm not going to do 2 or 3 hours today. I look and I said, man, I had 3 hours, like 2.5 hours yesterday. There's so much information, brothers and sisters. But anyway, let's move on. Counterfeit, they don't have any power anymore. You'll see that in a minute. They can run against Iran, and they're going to be squashed. I will destroy the wisdom of the wise. That means everything they do is not working. They think they're wise. They think they're being slick. And it says it's destroyed. Nothing they do will work. And if anybody asks questions, the problem you got right now in Ukraine and in the Middle East because your stupid ass decisions backfiring on you. Okay, so that's what it is. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. Like a man flees from a lion and encounters a bear, and then get away from the bear and gets home and a snake gets him. That's what you're about to see, brothers and sisters. But some of you are going to be caught up in this. Trying, Say, fear not them that kill the body, but see, you got to understand this. See, that you don't have no soul. Your soul is your DNA. That's your soul. That's your real name. And the Quran tells you, right, that we control that. Take 4 birds, teaching the climb. Most people, they don't know what that means. That's what it means. Okay? And it says, Suleiman, what he's going to do, he's going to not just, those that oppose him, we crush him. What do you mean I crush him? He's not going to just get rid of them. He's going to get rid of their whole seed, their whole line, all of it. Destroy their soul, their DNA. It's never rise again, ever. See, effing around the wrong people, and you don't know it, you're going to find out. I mean, this is the most critical time in history, and you see people just stupid. They do stupid stuff. I don't know. I understand we went through, and I've been very patient because I know we went through. That's what was required. You can't tell people to jump in a pool of shit and then, come on, man, you stink. No. Who's told, jump in that pool of shit and just lay there, submit to these wicked mission shed blood. Now we're going to say, man, no, we don't do that. Right? See? But if you're going to get out there and start showing shit on the person that's trying to pull you out, that's a whole different issue altogether. He's trying to pull you out. Now you're going to throw shit on them? Lying to him in the count on? He's trying to save your ass? No, don't work that way. Right? I'm not going to talk about this already. War against consequence, and you cannot wear the war against consequence. And you have to understand consequence, what consequence is. And all all breaks down to vectors, all right, distills down to vectors. You understand vectors, you understand most of the stuff that's going on. Because that's the language of pressure, language of force. And I keep telling you, the scriptures are all mathematical books. They're just written in prose because people don't know mathematics. And that's why they can't understand and break it down. But everything in here, I try to show you the mathematics behind it, and it's very simple mathematics. Very simple mathematics. But you make it really complicated with your emotions. See, emotions is very complicated stuff. See, because you can be good, happy one day. The weather is very complicated stuff. You can be happy one day, upset the next day, whatever, It's hard dealing with people that's emotional. It's hard dealing with that. Men or female. I was a demon wife one time, but that woman was so emotional. Ooh, it's like hurricane today. It was always bad weather. It was always bad weather, that's for sure. But at least if it's always bad weather, at least you can keep up with it, right? I mean, it's just all stormy all the time. Okay, well, you get used to the storm, right? But stormy, earthquake, hurricane, tornadoes, and damn. That's what it was. It was emotional roller coaster with her. But I stayed faithful. I stuck there. I said, I kept my word. I said, okay. But when she left, she broke that covenant. Bye-bye. Please don't come back. So she broke it. I'm through. You going? You walked away. I didn't. You did. Right? Bye. Right? Then the fool had nerve to call me about a few years back, about 3 or 4 years ago. What you calling me for? What you calling me for? Think you ain't got nobody. Right? See, whatever. Hold on, brothers and sisters. And that's the other thing, sisters. You tend to be a little more emotional, but you can be disciplined now. I mean, you can't just say it, just let because I got your back, right? But you got to be sensible too. It's all about discipline, because you have to achieve Hajj too. We have to achieve Hajj too. When you see the Hajj in the Middle East, it's women and male and females there. You have to achieve Hajj too. Means you have to, because you can't go through life just. That's what the devils tell you. See, the female devils, they're the worst, most of the people on the planet. And you follow their example. Oh, just let it hang out, do my thing, and they, and that's why divorce so high in America, right? Because they don't feel they have to discipline themselves and whatever emotion they have. You're supposed to go along with it. Bullshit with that. I'm not gonna let anybody put me. I had, like I said, a demon. And she put me on an emotional trip, man. I mean, I was. It wasn't for reciting, right? Slots. She destroyed me. In fact, she helped me with that because I found out, that you're gonna adjust them slots. You find out how much you need to take. I mean, it's like so how much medicine you need to take to solve this problem. How much exercise you need to do. So I kept saying, oh man, until I got to the point where I said, well, I had to make like an hour and a half or 2 hours of slot every day. And then all of a sudden, it didn't bother me as much as anymore. Because she had me depressed. The woman had me depressed, man. Always one thing after another, all the damn time. Always a damn problem. I said, damn, where ain't peace? Emotional a roller coaster. Right? And I said, woof. Right? So I kept on after I got to some point, and that's why she walked away. The bottom line, I shouldn't be going this kind of stuff, bro. That's why she ended up walking away, because she got to the point where she couldn't get me on the roller coaster anymore. I wasn't reacting to all that emotional stuff, because she had me upset, mad all the time. I'm still trying to work, trying to take care of this, take care of that, right? Trying to take care of the family, all these different things. I mean, I had my business at the time. Well, for a while, I was an employee. And now, when I moved, came to Jersey, I started my contracting business, but I was employed, when I was with her. And man, it was like, all the time. Right? And I kept making more and more, and I got to the point where it didn't bother me so much anymore. And when she saw she couldn't give me emotional, I wouldn't react to all that emotional crap anymore. Right? It backfired on her. She didn't have a nervous breakdown, because when she saw she couldn't let me react to all that stuff, then she started turn up the volume. I mean, she really got bad. I mean, one time I shouldn't get this kind of stuff, but I'm trying to get a point here. I mean, one time I asked her a question about his joint checking account, right? And there was a item, and I said, "Where'd that come from? It's kind of expensive." So I asked, I said, "Do you know anything about this?" Man, she jumped up, started howling and screaming. She jumped on the floor. You know, like how you had a roach when it turn upside, like turn upside down. What the hell's wrong with you? I said, "That's your goddamn question." That's what I was dealing with. right? Like I said, when she left, that was the best day of my life. I'm out of here. I want a divorce. Bye. See you. No, don't want to see you. Yeah, she had nervous breakdown and left. Right? I said, I'm keep going. About that emotional thing. So, listen, sisters, you know, I'm just trying to say these brothers are emotional too. You can be some of them worse than these sisters. But I'm just saying, right? They put that on you, but some of you are a little more emotional than it should be. But I'm not saying, I shouldn't even say it that way. Because I'm saying, guys, I mean, it's different between male and female. Only females, they do have a little more emotional quotient than men do. Right? But, you know, but you still have to show discipline on both sides, male and female. That's how you have peace. Peace through discipline, not through emotions. Emotions is about you enjoy peace. You need emotions because that's how you enjoy stuff. But if you leave it out of control, like fire, if you don't have control, it burns up everything. But if you use the control, you can cook stuff and make things happen. Move on, brothers and sisters. Okay, let me read this quick and I'm going to move to my main thing right here. If they should come you have captives, you would ransom them, whereas their turning out itself wasn't law for you. Do you then believe in part of the book and disbelieve in the other, like they do every Sunday? They believe in part, they believe in the other. In other words, they believe in maybe we haven't come, but they don't believe in the part about we going home. They believe, oh, Aaron, but they don't believe in the part that what he did when America, see? And says, what then is the reward of such among you as do this but disgrace in the life of this world? On the day of resurrection, they should be sent back to the most grievous chastisement. That's about to happen to them. Because they have to answer that. It says, what then is the reward of such among you as do this but disgrace in the life of this world? They can find disgrace here, right? And then on the day of resurrection was supposed to happen in a minute. Resurrection, when that war takes place, when the resurrection takes place, so they should be sent back to a grievous chastisement. So we're sent back to where? Brothers and sisters, you best, I ain't gonna tell you read or not. It's up to you. I don't, you know, son of perdition. Okay, let me give my brief critique. Now, it says, that's all he did was accuse our people. You got a little time left to repent. God don't like the ungrateful. You know, you can kiss my ass on that one, right? Because first of all, I ain't got a goddamn thing to be grateful for, and neither do you. And what we got to be grateful for? 400, the Holocaust, ain't? What do we grateful for? What do we got to be grateful for? You be grateful when you get your reward, dumbass. You're grateful when you get your reward. We haven't got the reward yet. Now, you might be grateful for Elijah coming, but y'all wasn't grateful for that, if you're a Levite, right? But you're grateful when you get your reward, when you get your paycheck. So what do we got to be grateful for? He ain't being here. See, Farrakhan's grateful because he's a millionaire. See, he loved this world's life. See, because he's a demon. The demons love this world's life. So he got stuff to be grateful for. But what we got to be grateful for? Tell me what the hell we got to be grateful for. God don't love it. And then he says, he goes further, right? We got to be thankful to Master. Wait a minute, hold it. For what? And because the air we breathe. And Master Muhammad don't give me my air to breathe. Hell, he breathe air himself. He don't control my air. I have to thank him for my air I breathe. He could say he's a nephew. He calls his uncle. So y'all so full of shit, they're crazy. We don't have a goddamn thing. We haven't got home yet. Remember it says you have to go through all that hell and everything else before you even get to here? The resistance? I ain't grateful for that. I'm grateful that we got out of the Holocaust. But hell, we got a lot of shit to still go through. I ain't got a goddamn thing I'm grateful for. I'm not even grateful for this damn body I got. Try to live and be 76 years old. You think that's a good thing? That's hell. Because you're not autopilot anymore. When you were 16, 30, you was on autopilot. You had to worry about stuff. You're 76, man, it's total standard submission. Transmission, I guess you call it, right? You got to control everything. I got to spend 4 to 5 hours at the gym every day. You think I like doing that? Get 2 o'clock in the morning? Now I go to a 24-hour, 24/7 gym, 2 o'clock in the morning, stay at about 7. And I ain't playing, I'm working out. I don't be talking around, all that kind of crap. Then I go later on again, and later on in the day. Then I got to do the fasting, get everything slack. You think I got time? You think I want to do all that? Just so I can walk around and without pain and carrying on? So what, I got to be grateful for that? People might live 1,000 years. In this condition, you think I want to live 1,000? I wouldn't want to live 5 more years in this condition. If we don't get a new rejuvenated body, I don't want this. I don't want to live in this prison. So, man, I tell you, those folks, ooh. See, the accused of our brethren. See, we have nothing. We have nothing to be. I ain't ask people to be grateful for me. Once you receive the benefit that I'm giving you, yeah, maybe you should be grateful for that. But the benefit ain't me giving you an angel. The benefit is me getting your ass home. Angels, the path to get home. Give somebody a ladder, the ladder to get up to there's a flood coming, you give them a ladder so they can get up, right? Okay, well, the ladders to get them to be grateful, to get up, then they be grateful. The ladders just transition. Then you get up, oh, I'm grateful, man, that ladder saved my ass. But the ladder ain't saved you yet, but you still got to climb it, and you don't know if it's going to work or not. And the master, we got thankful to the Master Muhammad for giving us the ability to breathe and eat. Really? Really? No? When Master Muhammad comes and takes and delivers us home, thank you, brother. I'm grateful that you guys still out of there. Right? You better read, look what grateful, have you read, look up the definition of grateful? I did before I got here, before I did this. It's gratitude for something that you received, a reward that you got. What reward have we gotten since we've been here? What reward have we gotten since we've been here, fool? You don't hear me tell me you gotta be grateful. I ain't never told anybody, even people that claim to be with me, I never said you had to be grateful for me or anything. I tell you, I tell them you got to get on the case and get you have to get yourself together, because you've been given the responsibility, if you accept it, for other people's lives, right? And you don't want that on you, because the people gonna blame you for the failure because you stepped up and you claimed that you was for them and you didn't do the job. Because if people lost, who do you think they're going to blame? People lost for lack of knowledge. Who do you think they're going to blame? They ain't going to blame me. I'm out here I'm giving accurately every day, putting myself on the line, making sacrifices. Sacrifice everything for it. And I ain't asked to do this. I really don't want to do it. Okay. So that fool, I fell asleep on wake up. I said, whoa. I was sleeping the last hour of it, I think. Because he just kept saying the same damn thing over and over again. Right? And then he give all these stupid, they got a contest over there about who could most is the dumbest. Between Ishmael, Jeffrey, and Daniel. And I think Jeffrey wins. I think he's the dumbest of all. I mean, they're dumb, but that boy, I think he's the dumbest of all of them. He's been, 2 hours talking about absolutely nothing. We should be grateful for this, and I forgot all the terms he was using. But don't love them. They're not ungrateful and all that kind of stuff. No, once you get there and once you receive the reward, and then you're not grateful for the reward, then that's a difference altogether. But it says only a few will be grateful anyway. It says it would be so terrible. The Quran says that what we got to go to be so terrible, so only a few will be grateful anyway. So God's going to throw them in hell? No. When you say like that means you're going to understand it. Right? Because, well, I understand why they're not grateful, man. Look what they went through. They lost their parents, they lost their children, they lost this, they lost that, and everything. They made it, but damn. Why would you want to be grateful for that? You made it, but damn, I mean, there's a lot of stuff, you know. So I'm not asking anybody to be grateful for anything. I'm not even asking people to be grateful for the sacrifice I'm making. Nobody asked me to make this sacrifice. You ain't asked me to make it. I'm not asking you to be grateful for anything. I'm just telling you, giving you information, and you can choose to do it. That's why I said I'm not warning you. I'm just giving you information. Now, if you choose to accept it and profit from it, that's your business. I'm not here to warn you. And if anybody refuses to accept this light, they turn the light turns on, and they close their eyes. Who they hurting? See, I got my own problems. That's why I say, Master, I'm just gonna sit down there and tell you what to do when you get home. I mean, the man's what? He's 100-some years old now. Now I don't know what condition he's in. I know what condition I'm in. And I ain't happy about it. It's a struggle every day just to keep myself in decent shape and then still do this. So what the hell I gotta be grateful for? So if that's based on you, then God don't love me, then hell whatever that God is, hell with him. Because if that's the case, I can't relate to him. Because you ain't give me something, tell me what I'd be grateful for. Sisters and brothers, you got a great reward coming, but you haven't got it yet. If you're grateful for what you got right now, then why waste time giving you more? Think about it. Those who love this world's life, doesn't that imply gratitude? There's no point for them in the hereafter. Did you read between the lines there? I'm saying, you listen to these people and they say shit, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. And they're talking, and they're gonna have to give an accounting for what they're saying, and they're gonna be humiliated in the worst way possible. You can't imagine what's gonna happen to these people. And they hope they're demons, because they're demons, right? Well, we understand demons. We understand devils. They're gonna lie and everything else because they're trying to stay alive. We can't argue with that. I mean, you create something alive. The part is, you got to almost respect it because they love the life that we gave them. So, hey, how can you get mad at somebody who loved the life you gave them? How can you get mad at somebody who loved the life? They loved the life we gave them. They loved the life we gave them. But the point is, that time is over. But they want to hold on to it. See, so they're grateful. The devils are grateful. They want to hold on to what we gave them. It's not the best expression of gratitude. They're going to fight the death to keep this life we gave them. Think about that. They're going to fight to the death to keep this life we gave them. They're going to do anything they can to keep this life we gave them. Some of these devils, man, they could be suffering and pain and crying and everything else, and they still fight for life. They be 200 years old, still they're doctor, oh me, I don't want. They want to see Jesus, but they don't want to see him right away. And they can be suffering like hell, and they still, oh man, okay, stay alive for another second. Someone like that, I wouldn't like that. If I lose control, hey man, I'm out of here. But someone like that, they loved it. So you can't argue with that. You gave me this life. I love it. I love it. I want to stay here. No, but you can't stay, man, because you cause too much trouble. We can't let you go. Oh, man, come on, please. Let me stay. Let me stay. Let me stay. How can you argue with that? But they got to go. Right? But they got to pay consequences. You can't get away with consequences. They put a consequence on themselves. They told, do not mess with that tree. It said, do not mess with the tree, or you be unjust. That means what they was doing was just. Making me shed blood, that was just. But mess with us, cause to be unjust. They got to pay for that. Because the just way they was doing, that was fit in the time frame. That was the winner matrix. But now, you understand? They're in the spring, and they was doing things they shouldn't have been doing. They said, don't mess that tree. So they got to pay the consequence of that. Other than that, just get rid of them. They're like the demons, right? They 5 months. But the traitors, Ishmael, those kind of clowns, man, they said, no, we don't burn them up. We don't burn them up. We put them in the furnace, right? Let them cook, fry, boil, right, for a long time. Hey, when they see about turning the steam, no, turn it back down. We want to boil for a long time. Oh, it's like that. It's like that. Oh, it's like that. See? Because they have to give their lives because our people lost their lives for lack of knowledge. So they got to pay for all the lives that was lost because of that bullshit they was doing. Make clear to you now, that's their consequence. So 1 million people was lost because of them. That's 1 million lives. 1 million lives. How many lives were lost? All those years, how many lost? Altogether, what's that? 10,000 years? All their life together, they would have, and they deserve because they went to the Holocaust. Because your dumb ass was out there teaching this bullshit, blocking the light. So 1 million years worth of life was lost. Somebody's got to pay for that. You didn't want to cause it. So you get the consequence of it. Do you understand that one? Or maybe you do, maybe you don't. Okay. Let me show you this bell. Like I said, I'm going to try to, I did this, I took some lot, then I'm going to close out. I hope this is good because, like I said, I spent a lot of time doing this bell. You know, I try to give a graphic idea, basic idea, so don't hold it against me. But it's just general. Generally, it's the idea, right? So let me see if I can make this bigger, and it's just give you the basic idea of what's going on, but in a kind of vector kind of way, right? Not exactly, but anyway, let's look. See here, now I was talking about how, see here. Black folks, because they're going every different direction. They see that's how they got divided. Oh well, I'm gay, I'm homosexual, I'm Christian, I'm Buddhist, I'm this, everything else, right? So that's what they got. They got vectors, but everybody's going different directions. One body. So when that happens, right? Then we just spin around, but going nowhere. See, we got a lot of energy, but see, energy mismatched. We going all around circles. We ain't going nowhere. That's our people. We're not going anywhere because everybody's going in different directions. And that's where Hajj comes in. And that's what the 2 prophets are supposed to do. But then how can they achieve Hajj when they ain't, I don't even want to get into that, brothers and sisters. Because they have to pay for what they're doing. Anyway, so that's our people right now. We're going around in circles. But then Elijah Muhammad comes along and gets trying to focus in one direction. Now all that force is going in one direction now. Oh, wow. Going home. Vector, right? Force times direction, right? And then, remember, but that means if we leave here, they lose control of us. That means fear, because they did all the things they did to us. Plus, they benefit from us because we have so much energy. We don't have more than them, but we have so much. And they profit because they control our energy. Like I said, if you got 20 children, everyone gets the same amount of energy you get, but now you control it well, so you can use it by your Lamborghini and everything else. You should be using it for their education and stuff, right? But they control our energy. And we're a nation, and within a nation. So they don't want to that's why Pharaoh didn't want to let us go, because man, we was building all this stuff for Pharaoh. We was doing all this stuff for Pharaoh. Man, we can't let them go, man. Look, he's building all this stuff for us. They were telling you it was benefiting from our energy. So he said, we got to stop it, boom. So when you understand vectors, to stop a vector, you have to have a vector that's equal in power, equal in force, and equal in direction. So something that pretends it looks, but ain't you. That's what false is. They pretend to be us. See? And so they set them up to stop us. And the bottom line is now you're not going anywhere. Ain't Farrakhan? You're not going, yeah. He's part of this. No, we're not going anywhere because that blocks us. But as we being more energized, that means America's got to put more energy, because remember, they're the ones that has to be doing this, because they're the ones who want to keep us here. So they got to be behind that. You see all the wisdom that's in this way by itself? They have to be behind a vector. They have to set up a vector. America has to set up a vector that will be equal and opposite to us, that stop us from going anywhere, right? And it has to keep, energy has to keep being energized to match our energy. So that means it has to keep on giving more resources, more spending more money, energy, right? Because that money's the energy, right? To keep the force equal, so we don't go anywhere. Because the force start weakening, then we can move it, push it. But as long as it's two cars, you got a car going 20 miles an hour north and over 20 miles an hour south, and they're not moving anywhere. But if one started going 10 miles, 120, then it's going to push the other one. But they got to keep it. So that means they got to spend a lot. As we get more energy, they got to spend more energy. Yeah. And so in other words, it's bankrupting them, because they got to spend all they got to do to keep that going. All the wars they had to fight, all the money they had to invest, and everything else to keep all Israel there, because the whole purpose is to keep us from going anywhere. That's the purpose. Mentally, physically, going anywhere. You understand? Okay, let's move on. But what's the threat there? But you got a threat, Iran, that's attempting to take them out. And you can't let that be taken out, because then we leave. You can't they can't let false Israel go down, because that whole point is to keep us from leaving. And so who's the threat to them? Iran. You get the point, brothers and sisters? See the vectors, how it's worked? That's why they gotta remember, they gotta keep energy, gotta use all the energy they can to keep false Israel in the same direction and the same force. So this is another, they have to deal with this, a force that's working to take false Israel out. So now they got to spend a lot of energy to neutralize that force. Right? Now you see how this thing works, why it's happening like it's happening? They can't tell you this. That's why the angel explains all this, and then I take and put it in mathematics, explain even better. Why the angel's saying what it's saying. So he takes out false Israel. They take out false Israel, which is about to happen. When that happens, what? Then bam. Now you come home. Nothing to stop you. False Israel's gone. That was the only thing holding you back. You understand what I'm saying? See? And on top of that now, they see America's in trouble. They got China, India. They're on the move. And that's totally in sync with the time, but I'm just giving you in general, because this take a lot of work on this, right? See? And what? Boom, they come, take out America. That's what's going to happen, brothers and sisters. Remember, the time is not exactly, right? But the idea, right? Because when we leave, when the Levites leave at the same time they show up, that's the part of the Red Sea. Right? And then what? Now America is at war in Russia. And it's between Russia and Europe. Both of them are fighting. They fight. Trump is, I tell you, it says the wisdom and will destroy it, because what he's doing right now is he's writing his own obituary, because he's making enemies of Europe. So now they're going to end up fighting Europe. He don't realize that. That's what I'm saying, that wisdom will be destroyed. He's creating enemies all over the planet. And that's why I told you all the plans could be against America. You didn't believe it, and I told you. But isn't everybody against America now? Didn't I tell you that years ago? Everybody's going to be against America, and that you see it right before your eyes. You see it right before your eyes. Everybody's against America now, because America got terrorists. It's going to do all this. It's going to take Greenland. It's going to take Panama. It's going to take other countries, but you better not take another country, right? And it turned against Europe. You see? So that's the long. Like I said, I'm still working. I want to make that perfect that, but it took me a long time to get that far, so I leave it there. And it says during that time, read chapter 12. It says that's when the Crucified brethren cast down, and we know if you got any paying attention at all, you know this is basically days away, if not seconds. All eyes on the Middle East right now, the entire world. Not just because of two things: abomination, desolation, exactly what the scriptures say, and the war in heaven, which is part of the war in heaven. Everybody's focused on the Middle East. I've been telling you this for years. Farrakhan said, "Hey man, it's Armageddon." And where's it, Farrakhan? I thought God told you to be silent. See, if you're a puppet master, what they call those dummies they have, you sit down, what they call those things? Dummies, I guess, right? So if you told the shut up, the dummy should be moving either, right? You see what I'm saying? So the Ishmaelites should shut up too, shouldn't they? It's so full of shit over there. And the thing is, I'm like, they got fasted. Boy, ooh, tomorrow's my day I eat, man. I can't wait. Only a couple more hours. Because I know I can feel my hand around their throat. Right? I'm listening to them. I keep saying, man, it got to be next Sunday. Got to be next Sunday. Got to be. Right? Because, we can't be too much longer. See? And some people, I guess they wish it wouldn't come because they messed up. You messed up with me, boy. You through. It tells you very clearly. Do not F around. You mess with that guy called Son of Man over there. Don't mess around with Joshua. Don't mess around with Jonah. Don't mess around with those guys. Don't mess around with them. Right? Don't mess around. Master Muhammad said, "Day of wrath comes." Said, "Who will be able to stand?" And you around here playing games, lying, all that kind of stuff. You think it says you'll be spanked, be crushed. I got time for your bullshit. This is critical times, and I ain't happy about it. I ain't looking forward to it. Like Elijah Muhammad told that brother, do not pray for that day because you don't know what you're up against. And I know more about it than you do, and I don't want to go through it. And I'm gonna be taken out of it. And I still don't want to go through it. It says time of Jacob's trouble. It said time of Jacob's deliverance. It said time of Jacob. It says deliverance, but it's time of Jacob's trouble. And then he'd be delivered out of it. His trouble, and Jacob's trouble was terrible. I ain't happy about any of this. I ain't happy about what's happened in the past. I'm getting here. I ain't happy about the last 30 years. I ain't happy about a goddamn thing. I ain't happy about the fact that this thing is delayed. It shows you why Jonah got upset about that. I'm not a happy person. I ain't angry. Yeah, I am angry. I'm taking that back. I am angry. Right? But I'm not discombobulated. I'm not any changes. They say my blood pressure's high. I don't know why. That's right. I did check. It's a little higher than I expected it to be, but it's not off the page. Right. But I'm not depressed. But that's only because of my slots. So I ain't have anything. Right. If you're wrathful, how can you be wrathful and happy at the same time? Does that explain anything to you? The God ain't happy either. Said, "Day of wrath has come." What the hell we got to be happy about? Day of wrath has come. If you're wrathful, you ain't happy, and your blood pressure ain't low either. Because you out here kick ass. Anybody gets in your way is going to be in trouble. You better read the scriptures again if you've been reading it all. Day of wrath has come, and we're here now. Anybody who's paying attention, I've been talking about it for years, and now we're here. Now we're here. It's not a joke. And anybody look, you ain't seen, you look on the internet, you never seen anything like this before. Never. Not even 3 years ago. It's so hot over there right now. In fact, they could be at war right now. I mean, they are telling you to get war. Just think about it. You got little Yemen, and they don't control the whole country. Remember that. The Houthis don't control the whole country. Right? They don't have much manufacturing or anything. Right? They're the poorest country on the planet. That's what they say. Yet they're kicking America's ass. America's dropping bombs, everything on them. And the Houthis kicking their ass. And then they'll go up against Iran? And let me say one last thing, brothers and sisters. See, how stupid devils are. Now, Iranians, they used to be black. The original Persian was black, right? And they're original people. But, you know, they turn white like the Arabs did, right? But, you know, they invented chess. Very, very, and very technical. See, the Arabs, the Sunnis, and he had it all wrong, too, about Satan. Satan is not the jinn. Let me move on. But the thing is that they saying that you need, if you have uranium enrichment of 60 degrees, 60%. See, the reason I mean, in other words, I don't want to go into the math of it, right? But when the higher percentage you get, the greater the chance of reaction. You can get a reaction at 60% if you're good at know what you're doing. You get a nuclear reaction at 60%, but you have to be very good at how you set this thing up. But you improve your chances as you get closer and closer to, because uranium actually reacts. That's what radiation is, right? It's radiating. You know, it's technically exploding, but very slow motion. That's radiation, because radiation is throwing atoms out and radiation out. Right? I don't want to explain it, but so like if you understand, the sun's exploding too. It's a slow motion because it's blowing all the energy out, but it just goes right. It's just slow motion. It takes millions of years to do it, but it's slow motion. But it's exploding. Explosion means when you're expanding, right? I know you don't think of it like that, but anyway. So uranium is actually exploding, but it's slow motion. But you want to speed it up to make it explode like in a second. See, because when they say half-life of uranium, that means like, I think half-life is like 10,000 years or whatever. That means it decays because it explodes. It takes 10,000 years for it to completely finish exploding, and it changes to another form. But if you get to close to 100%, that means it explode instantly. And that's a powerful explosion because you cause everything around to explode. You know, as you eat, and I don't want to move to details, brothers and sisters. I'll get too much into it. So you can do it at 60%. Like I said, you increase it, but it's difficult. But the point is, it don't take much to go from 60% to 90%. 100% is very unstable. I don't think, I'm not sure if they use 100% because that's very unstable. It's very difficult to keep that under control, right? If I get it right. Then they use plutonium, which is even more volatile than uranium. But the bottom line is that they have it, and they can easily spin from 60 to 90%. It takes maybe a week to do it. It depends how many centrifuges you have. If you got 1,000 centrifuges, you probably do it in a couple of days, maybe a few hours. Because the more you got, the faster it's able to do it. If you understand that, look up that, maybe you understand it. So bottom line is, if you was going to make a nuclear bomb, see, the Koreans, North Koreans, they did it. They were smart, and they didn't know they was doing it until it was too late. But if you want to do it, and you know the people was going to try to stop you from doing it, then would you be stupid like Americans tell you stupid? So, well, they got the rich uranium, but then it's going to take them weeks to put the bomb together, because once you get, because uranium is just the fuel, right? So you got to put fuel inside a bomb, right? And then you get the explosion, and then you need a missile to get the bomb where you want it to go. So America, the way they stand on there, and I don't know, this bullshit, if they really thinking that way, they got to be totally out of their damn mind. Well, they're going to enrich it, and then it'll take them about a couple of weeks to make the bomb, and then they got to take maybe a month or two to put a missile together to shoot the bomb. I said, are you out of your goddamn mind? The uranium is, if you was going to do that, what would you do? While you was enriching this stuff, wouldn't you be making the bomb? Wouldn't you be making the missile? So by the time you got enriched, everything be ready. Well, you got a couple hours to put it together. Why would you wait? Oh, let me finish enriching. Then, now, okay, y'all got it ready. Okay, let's figure out how to make a bomb. Oh, we made a bomb. Let's figure out how to put it on a missile. Is that dumb? No. And some people think Iran already have an atomic bomb. And that's a whole nother story altogether. Because if you go look this up, when the Soviet Union fell, there was like 1,000 or maybe 4,000 or 5,000 suitcase nuclear bombs that turned up missing. They don't know where they went. They said the general sold them to people. Sold them to who? If you have it, you ain't gonna tell anybody you got it, right? A suitcase. So look, it fits inside a suitcase. So if you're a diplomat, you come over here and they can't look in your suitcase, right? Plant one right near the White House. I'm just saying, but I think it's 1,000 or so forth that they don't know what happened. They know they're out there somewhere. They don't know who has them, right? And remember, the Soviet Union is around the border of Iran, and they friendly. Okay, it doesn't matter. If you understand the engine, you know how it's going to turn out. It's just a matter of time and based on what it looks like, they're going to do a preemptive. They actually saying it. Attack True Promise 3, they call it. That's the result. Remember they were supposed to retaliate from the false Israel hit them last time? They said, we're still going to do it. They said today, said yesterday, we're still going to do it at our own time. That means that's a preemptive attack. They say they may do it any minute now. So all the things I've been saying is right in focus right now, everything. It just, once it happens, boom. And then accused of our brethren is cast down. Farrakhan is gone. Farrakhan, he'll escape with the demons. But the rest of those guys, they better hope they get out with him. Because if they get caught trying to get out of there, ooh. Well, they're going to get caught eventually. See? But they're going. And it would not be pretty. Would not be pretty. Okay? And I thought about this. I've been thinking about this lately. I feel I get kind of I feel bad for some of these sisters, right? Because these sisters hung up with some of these fools that was no damn good. And they gave birth to their seed, and now the fool he's gone, and the seed's going with him, and she's gonna lose her children. See, hey, that can't be helped. That can't be helped. That's going to happen. See? And a lot of sisters going to be upset about that one. There's no choice on that one. They had to come to a mathematical understanding quick. Because that's what it's going to be. Because if they go down, their seed's going with them. And otherwise, so that's why I stood about Lot's wife. They don't put us stood for no reason. So are you going to be Lot's wife? You going to go down too? Or are you going to recover? So, okay, whoa, man, no. I know it's going to be a very emotional thing for sisters. I know that. But we're gonna clean house, get rid of all the demons, all these traitors. It will not be any of that stuff going home and hereafter. We're going to close out, brothers and sisters. No, not do this. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to do this. Okay, I'm going to close out, brothers and sisters. Hope you understand. Hell's about to break loose, brothers and sisters. Hell's already broke loose in many ways. Because you're about domination, desolation. Right? But when that war breaks, and it's going to happen any day now, just whoa. Assalamu alaikum. let me say one more thing, brother, before I close out. I talk about the dilemma. I want to make that clear, and I'm going to close. If I can. Hold on. Now, I talked about it enough, so let me just say a couple things here. So the world is on dilemma right now, and it's all because of you. And it's very complicated. But you understand from a Victor point of view, vectors, you understand what's going on. But the bottom line is, it's the big dilemma. And the big dilemma is how they deal with this. And, well, let me do this book and then close. I shouldn't do this. I should just let this go. Hold on, brother, scissors. Because you're in the middle of all of this. You're in the middle of all of this. Right here. And that's what you need to understand. You're in the middle of all of this. I tried to show you that graphic I just did. Oops. See, you had this 2,000-year controversy, the Jews and the Christians. Now, according to the Bible, when Jesus came on the scene, the Jews were in control. And the first followers of Jesus were, Jesus supposed to be a Jew, and the initial followers was Jews too, right? And a long story I tell about Paul sometime. Paul, his name was originally Saul. And Paul was a persecutor of the Christians, right? Now, he was a Jew. He was a persecutor. And if you look at what Paul teaches, he turned Judaism into what they call Christian today. He didn't once made it what they call Christians today. But first was Catholicism, because it says okay to eat pork and all this stuff. Yeah, Paul, he's the one who okayed all that stuff. Right. I don't want to go into details. So where I see it is Paul. He said, you can't beat him, join him. So he went and joined from inside, right? But originally, all those so-called Jesus followers and everything, disciples, were all Jews, and the original Christians was all that. So Paul came along, and so he started what you call with Catholicism, where you can mix Romanism. Like that's the bottom line is okay. Anyways, they chose over 2,000 years. So the British and the Catholicism is like mixture of Roman religion, all that kind of stuff, right? And so Britain was first to break away from the church, and that's called Protestant. Protested. They protested the church. That's where it came from. And that's why let's say Christianity is 500 years old, because Christianity, you know, baptism, all that kind of stuff, that came out of the British Gog and Magog tradition. Okay? But Jews and Christians have been at each other's throat. And during the so-called Dark Age, they used to run to Spain with the Moors that black folks was ruling, right, for protection from the Christians. That's the Jews did, right? So back in the 30s, they was trying to they finally came to a head where they said, found a solution, they're going to get rid of all of them. And they came close to it. And Elijah, they should kiss Elijah's ass, because Elijah saved their ass. Because by him saying, we choose Abraham, they said, they stopped killing the Jews. They said, we need them. Because I told you that vector. Because no, we got to say because we can't have these niggas talking about they the Jews. Because they come together, remember? Because they all directions. If we come together, they want focus. A vector and point in one direction. That's powerful. Right now, we got vectors put every direction. I'm a Christian, I'm a Jew, I'm a Buddha, I'm all this stuff. You see what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying here? So That's the thing. So point is that let me check my sound here. So that's okay. So the bottom line is, that Jews, they got themselves. Remember, if you run Daniel, they said they enslaved us. They was as much they enslaved just like the Christians did. It was Jews and the Christians enslaved us. The bronze and the iron slaved the tree. But the bottom line is they still hate each other. But they need each other because they need to stop us from rising. And they needed false Israel to do that. So that's why he said false Israel. But false Israel knows they hate them. But they need them. And when you need somebody because you hate them, you only need them as long as the reason you on you keep them around, as long as you need them. And the need was to keep us behind who we were. But it says that there was plan to eradicate us. And so they don't need them until they got eradicated us. It tells us, let's deal wisely with them. Let's deal shrewdly with them. It says throw them in the river. You couldn't have brought them through in the river. I explained all these things to you. So the point is they need them as long as until they get rid of us. They don't need them anymore. They back each other's throat. Now Jews know this. That's the dilemma. That's what's going on right now. If you understand that principle, you understand what's the dynamics of what's going on right now. Because Jews know that. They know they only need them to keep us from finding who we are. Right? And so America can't let, because if they can't let false Israel fail, because then we'll find who we are, then we become one vector, and we'll fight against them and lead a country. And so they're making forward with China. They make China all riled up. Why? They made China a powerhouse. America made China a powerhouse. They sent those industrial jobs there. And they said, so why don't they stop? All you got to do is stop. All you got to ask yourself a question. Okay, China, so, well, yeah, but China's economics is dependent on America. If you cut America, stop economic program, China would have dropped because their economics, their economy would collapse if they couldn't deal with America anymore. That's their primary market. Just like false Israel, they can't do anything about oil. Where are they getting it from? They get it from the Arabs, the one they're persecuting. Yes, this stuff don't make any sense. No, it don't make any sense until you understand what's going on, what's driving it. Because the Arabs, he's talking about the prodigal son today. He don't know what he's talking about. That's Ishmael, the older brother. They got the land. They say, oh, yeah, man, bottom line is. You understand? So that's the dynamics of what's going on. Because they need false Israel until they can find out how to get rid of us. And the plan to get rid of us is a war with China, 200 million man army, where they have to draft almost all their men and meet almost all of us, get rid of us. Because you ain't making no babies if you're dead. You ain't making no dead babies if you're in prison. They couldn't abort you. That's another way to do it. That's what it says, if you understand Angel. This is very deep stuff. It says throw them into the river. You think, oh, what? They try to tell you Nile. It's very deep stuff. But it says they're planning in a way that you can't see it. Only Suleiman will come and explain it. He said, we'll explain all that stuff. He pull up their skirt. He explain all that stuff. They're hiding. That's their plan. That's why they say, oh, why they keep dealing with China? They worry about China, but China's getting stronger. America's making them stronger. Why? Why they keep going? Why they keep helping false Israel? Why they keep doing these things? Why they bring people across the border? Don't make any damn sense until you understand what's going on here. Because they need to get rid of you, but if they get rid of you, they need people. Who kind of jobs you got? The job that people across the border could take. They need somebody to stand in transition to take those jobs once you're gone, and then they can send their ass back home. They need China to get rid of your ass, and so, hey, see, we're fighting a war. So they need to be able to draft your ass, right? And they couldn't do it under Elijah Muhammad because Elijah Muhammad made you exempt. Because of the Ali thing, and Farrakhan said, no, we're going to fight for America because it belongs to us. You see the story? You see how this shit fits together? That's the whole plan, but they can't tell you. Remember, they discreetly been in the background. But false Israel knows that plan. Says, damn, man, if they get rid of them, they ain't going to get rid of us because they hate us too. But they don't hate keep us to keep them. So we got to do something to make sure that can't happen. So we got to get nuclear weapons. That's why they try to stop them getting nuclear weapons. Now they got nuclear weapons. And they said, well, we got to be controlled. So when they get rid of them, right? So that's why I got to take over the Middle East. Because the Middle East is where the oil that fuels all this stuff. They get that, America can't touch them. Christians can't touch them. They got control of oil, fuels the whole reality, and they got control of nuclear weapons. They can defend themselves, right? But they can't do that long until that's why they had that program giving all the Arab countries, 7 Arab countries, surround Iran, then finally take Iran, then they have control of the Middle East. Is all this stuff coming together for you? Then once that happened, right? But they need to take out Iran. That Iran's the only thing stopping them. So now they know they can't take out Iran, so they got to get America to do it. So they tell America, you got to take out Iran. But America don't want to take out Iran up front because they don't have no reason to take out Iran. They already do the false Israel. Say, well, if we don't take out Iran, they're going to take out false Israel. They're telling you, Iran will take out false Israel. So we got to stop them because they can't let false Israel go. They actually saying it, but they can't tell you the reason behind it. Because America don't have an interest in Iran. It's only false Israel does. False Israel need Iran to go so they can take over the Middle East. So they got to get Iran to go before they take us out. Before they had a war with China. Was they pushing? They said, war with China's going to be any day now. You see how this shit comes together? This is their plan, and I'm telling you about it. And some of you paying attention, no, whatever. That's the plan. That's the dilemma. So America's at a dilemma now, man. You know, if I take out Iran right now, right? You see what I'm saying? Then who's going to take out false Israel? If I take out Iran, they got control of the Middle East. Right? See? But if I don't take out Iran, they will take out false Israel. Then the blacks going to rise up. I see the great army. We got to get rid of them. See? And false Israel said, no, man, you got to take out. That's why I push the thing. You got to take out Iran. Because we know y'all about to take out them niggas. We got to take out Iran, right? So we can take care of the Middle East. No, we don't want them to take care of the Middle East. If we get rid of, if we get rid of Iran, they're gonna take over the Middle East. Then they're gonna be more powerful than us because they control the resources. They control our economy. You understand the dilemma that's going on there? That's going in their minds. That they do it above your head because they don't want you to know what's going on. It's all about you. Assalamu alaikum.